Our next guest is Aaron Mollin, a guy who's as comfortable dropping into a half-cab heel flip as he is dropping legal knowledge. Aaron spent his childhood skateboarding and nearly 20 years living and breathing Japan. And yes, his Japanese is fluent, folks. He even ran a bar in Kyoto after graduation. Aaron ditched the law books to take a wild ride with Ichijiku, a sustainable, hyper-luxury fashion brand he founded that uses vintage silk kimonos to create one-of-a-kind masterpieces, and requires a $1,000 deposit to just reserve a piece. But Aaron's got more than just fashion sense. He's now leading IPDefine, a company with groundbreaking AI, the world's first patent infringement discovery AI, no less. In his talk titled A Skateboarder's Guide to Entrepreneurship, Aaron drops some gnarly wisdom on navigating the entrepreneurial journey. Here's Aaron.
So with the skateboarding title, this is probably not what you were expecting, but you probably thought I would just ride out on a skateboard and bust a fat kickflip or something, right? But that's the beauty of skateboarding. It kind of stays with you years after your feet leave the grip tape. So my name is Aaron Benjamin Mollin, and I've lived in Japan for 20 years. After many attempted careers, I finally landed where I am now as the founder of a sustainable hyper-luxury fashion brand called Ichijiku, and the CEO of a patent infringement discovery AI company called IPDefine. And I've been skateboarding on and off for the better part of 30 years. Unfortunately, all the footage of me skating in my heyday is boxed up somewhere in a storage unit in Toronto, but I was able to piece something together using the latest and greatest AI. There we go. Look at that face. So dialed in that day. Yeah. So I wanted to take the next 10 minutes to share why I believe skateboarding provides an invaluable foundation for entrepreneurship. And there are three main reasons for this. One, it teaches you how to celebrate failure. Two, it teaches you how to differentiate between NBDs and ABDs. And three, it teaches you how to embrace self-expression. So what do I mean about celebrating failure? Well, before I jump into this, I'd like to channel some of skateboarding's greats to help convey this concept. Milton Martinez, broken foot. Oh, you're just jumping right to the punchline there. Aaron Jaws Hamoki with an exploded MCL right there. That's a 25 stair set, I think. Yeah. Biggest ever done. And then we've got Danny Way. Yeah, well, that was me in the first picture. Yeah. Yeah, take that in for a second. That's right, yeah. Not me, yeah. This is Danny Way, and over his career, fractured C1 and C2 vertebrae, bruised brain stem and spinal cord, torn ACL, torn PCL, 20 surgeries. You see where I'm going with this. Now, no skateboarder sets out to wreck themselves, but in skateboarding, it's understood that if you're attempting a new trick for the first time, failure is almost inevitable. Ever hear of someone coming out of a failed client meeting with a blown kneecap? Me neither. But I can tell you how many times I've encountered entrepreneurs who are totally sidelined by failure, even if it occurs for reasons completely out of their control. What's crucially important is to condition yourself to celebrate that failed attempt as an invaluable opportunity to grow. When I started Ichijiku, almost every tailor in Toronto and Tokyo turned me down when I asked them to help me create a suit made of kimono fabric. They said it was too challenging. So you can imagine how I felt when I finally found someone who was willing to help me make this piece that we only have enough fabric to make one of, and they used the underside of the fabric by accident. It wasn't their fault. But in doing so, they actually ended up emphasizing the weave, giving it a really unique appearance. Now I wear it like a badge of honor. In the end, failure and success just come down to what you make of them. And if you are the person who's used to succeeding at everything you do, it probably means you're not pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And that leads me to the second topic. So skateboarders take the progress of the sport very seriously. Some might say too seriously. If you're a professional skateboarder, you're evaluated in large part on how many NBDs you've achieved. And NBD means never been done. And it can apply to an entirely new trick or an existing trick performed on a challenging new obstacle. NBDs are not formally monitored, but skateboarders keep close track of who does what for the first time and where. It's all the same spot that all of this is happening on, different tricks. Really iconic skate spot. So the concept of an ABD then, already been done, probably doesn't need much explanation. Though not celebrated in the same way as NBDs, ABDs are nonetheless crucial for the progression of the sport, as even small iterations or changes in style can lead to the establishment of new trick standards. So what I'm trying to illustrate in the context of entrepreneurship is that there are two unique approaches to consider when you're starting a business. You can initiate or you can innovate. For me personally, I derive no joy in doing something that someone else has done, so I always opt for the former. When I leave this world, I want to have left a legacy of NBDs. When people tell me they've never seen a men's blazer made of women's kimono fabric, or that they don't believe AI can automatically detect infringement of a portfolio of thousands of patents in seconds, I feel combustible. And being told I'm crazy is my fuel. Now, I'm not trying to bring down anybody who's opting for the ABD model. ABDs are a necessary part of business, just as they are in skateboarding, because there's always room for an innovative new approach to an existing solution. Having said that, I'd guess that most entrepreneurs who grew up skateboarding would probably share my passion for NBDs, which are really just another form of self-expression. And self-expression just happens to be the last topic I wanted to touch on today. Skateboarding is more than a sport. It's music, it's fashion, it's parties, it's a lifestyle. When I was a kid, my walls were plastered with pictures of skate shoes and apparel I'd ripped out of skateboarding magazines. I've been into fashion for as long as I can remember, but it was skateboarding that made me realize that what I loved about fashion was how it provided a platform for self-expression. If you grew up skateboarding in the 90s, chances are people could take one look at you and know exactly what you were about. Baggy pants, t-shirts emblazoned with skate company logos, flat-soled, chunky sneakers made by anyone other than Adidas or Nike. Oh, how times have changed. I was proud of being a skater, and I wanted everyone to know it. Fashion provided me a means of achieving that goal. And even though I pivoted from oversized hoodies to tailored kimono suiting, the tenets of self-expression that I embraced as a young skateboarder still stay with me today. Only now my style screams man, baby, otaku. I don't know. The last takeaway I'd therefore like to impart on you is that if you've taken that crucial first step in entering the world of entrepreneurship, you're already practicing self-expression, whether you like it or not. So embrace it. Embrace it through fashion, through music, through art, through skateboarding, through any means that bring you joy. Don't be afraid to share who you are with the world. Your uniqueness will act as a key which will open doors that might never have otherwise presented themselves to you. So in closing, initiate or innovate, celebrate your failures, and always make a statement. If you keep at it, you will ride away with your feet planted firmly above the bolts. Keep shredding, and don't forget to support your local skate shops. Thank you. Baba Booey.